Biggest takeaways. I think just kind of where we left off as a unit, as a team, both offensively, defensively, and special teams. The guys obviously came back in the right frame of mind, ready to go to work. Those are all things here in the last couple of days that have been kind of stood out to me. The leadership has really shown itself, within the team, and those are all things that really, next week we put the pads on, so we'll take another step, in that direction. But pleased where everybody is right now.
Injury, or I guess like guys that haven't been full go. If you could clarify for Devon Hamilton, and then Tyson, I know sat out a couple of reps yesterday.
Yeah, Devon's progressing well. He's still working through the back and the spasms there, and hopefully by next week he's cleared and ready to get back. He's doing walkthrough stuff. He's doing some individual stuff and all that. We're just keeping him out of the team stuff right now. Tyson. This is also the time. When these guys come back, this is why we do acclimation phase, and their legs get a little sore, they get a little tight, and so we're just precaution. We don't want it to progress to anything serious, so we monitor these guys really well. Jeff Ferguson does a great job of that, and coaches do a nice job of, getting some of the younger guys more reps that way. So, again, just precautionary, and we just don't want something major to come out of it.
Is there one player that has stood out to you from training camp this week?
I mean, I would say Calvin, Ridley on offense, just the way he practices, it's just it's a different speed, it's a different level, and it's encouraging to me as a coach because it feeds to the rest of the guys, particularly the young guys. He's one that's really, stood out there. Defensively, you mentioned Tyson earlier. I just love the way he came back and really has embraced, I think, him being in that conversation of one of the top corners in the league, and he's kind of picking up where he left off and doing well.
How big should it be for Tyson just to get those reps against Calvin?
I mean, it's great. That's why I like to go, the starters together and practice together, because you're getting those quality reps, right? You're getting game speed reps, and when Calvin and Christian and Zay and Evan and TJ and those guys are practicing full speed, that's what we need, and it just makes us better.
How much does the evaluation process really change next week when the pads go on?
Not a lot, it's more when the pads come on, there's a little more obviously physicality, so you see that schematically nothing changes, right? It's just a matter of now, offensive linemen have something to hang on to, and it's just kind of getting used to having the pads on again, really. But evaluation-wise, it really doesn't change a whole lot, because we're looking at everybody, what they know, what they don't know, and kind of taking it from there.
So you can already kind of start to get a feel for where maybe Trayvon's at with comfortability as a pass rusher and where Anton Harris.
Yeah, obviously, when you're in shorts like we're in, it's a little hard. It's a little harder for the offense and defensive lines. It's just I try to control the tempo there, to control the pace, right? I just don't need a lot of bodies on the ground, and so there's a different tempo. When the pads come on, we're okay. Let's go. Let's cut it loose, and so we'll see a little bit more next week as we begin that way. But Trayvon has done a nice job so far. Even our guys on offense have said that he's definitely improved from a year ago.
How's Derek Parrish doing? Sorry.
Excuse me?
How's Derek Parrish doing so far?
Good.
Just good.
Good. He's doing well. Young guy that's learning. Obviously converted D lineman who we've asked to play a little bit of, fullback, tight end, kind of learning a new position. And, just like any young player, it's a challenge, a lot of information to know and to process. And, but he's doing well, for the first couple of days, he's doing good.
Is that learning a new language? All this?
Oh yeah. It's different from playing defensive line, right? You're in a 5 technique. Now he's got to hear all these words in a huddle, and you know, and figure things out, know where to line up and all that. But yeah, he's doing good, you know, learning every day.
Does Trayvon have a better idea of who he is in terms of as a pass rusher and what his strengths, weaknesses are?
I think so. I think last year was big. He can go back and, which he did all offseason, go back and watch himself, you know, and then go back and watch other top edge rushers, you know, in this league, and really start putting his pieces together, right? But just understanding the type of player that he wants to be, the type of player we ask him to be, and where, you know, whether he's on the edge or inside, you know, that versatility that he has and the length that he has. Those are all things that you know, he will definitely and has, you know, improved.
Being the number one pick, there's obviously a lot of pressure on that. But a year removed from that, do you think that doesn't weigh on him anymore? Or
You know, I mean, that's probably a better question for him to answer. I was never a first-round pick, so I couldn't tell you that. I would say with these guys, once they get past that first, you know, once you start playing meaningful games, I think all that goes away. I think it's more for writers and the public to, you know, he's out there trying to help us win games.
Doug, when Trevor's made such a leap that you wanted to make from year 1 to year 2, given what he did last year, then you go from 2 to 3. What's the biggest challenge for him to then be in that very elite group of guys in this league?
You know, it's a great question, because now, you know, as you look at last year, you know, there were some struggles first part of the season. There were some miscues first part of the season. You know, back half of the year, we got better. He got better, was more efficient, understood more situations. Now it has to be that consistency, right? It has to just be, you know, for the 17-game schedule, it's just got to be every single week has got to be like that. And that's where he can, you know, and now his understanding of our offense, he can verbalize and communicate things to us better as a staff, and kind of his likes and dislikes as we get into, again, the regular season. But just having the consistency, and one thing that really helps him is having the type of guys around him that he has, and the way they practice, you know, every single day, that puts him in a in game like, you know, situations. And then it's, you know, my job to make sure that we are practicing these scenarios and that he understands exactly what we're trying to get done. But I think that consistency now will continue to elevate and you know, get his game even better, you know, as we go.
When you see star players getting injured around the league in training camp, do you just have to trust your plan and what you guys have decided to do, or do you find yourself talking about it amongst yourselves and evaluating it?
You know, I just focus on us and do what's best for us. I mean, it's unfortunate, you know. It seems like every year there's a couple of guys that get nicked early in training camp, and I can't necessarily worry about all that. You know, I just got to prepare the football team the best I can, and you know, put them in these tough situations. The players do a great job of taking care of themselves and preparing their bodies, and they obviously know the risks involved. But I don't spend a lot of time worrying about changing something, or, you know, I have a pulse of the team. If I do want to change something, I will. But you know, we're full steam ahead.
How have you felt, Walker, Cam, the situation at left tackle, kind of moving Walker a little in different positions? How has that gone for the first 3 days?
Great.
We'll switch to defense then. The cornerback position. I feel like we've asked you this a couple of times, but that third corner spot. Obviously, we know Trey is the incumbent, but we've asked a couple of times, but now through the first 3 days, which young guys have you seen take advantage of the opportunity to push him?
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of different combinations there, right? You know, Antonio Johnson's played some. Eric Hallett's been in there. Christian Braswell. You know, we've got some guys. You know, Greg Jr. has really kind of stepped up a little bit. He's kind of, you know, caught the attention. And again, second-year player, right? Coming in, you know, Monteric Brown. I mean, these guys are second-year players who take that, just like Snoop on offense, right? You take that second-year leap. And so what I see is that as we, and again, I think this goes back to the evaluation in pads, you know, when we put the pads on and just seeing how they move, how they tackle in preseason games, you know, all that becomes part of the evaluation process. But, you know, all those guys have done a nice job. There's still obviously mistakes being made that we have to clean up, but I think for the most part, these guys have really handled the information. And also what I see is they spend time with their coaches at night, you know, really wanting to understand the defense, you know, even better.
What is it about Greg? What is it about Greg in particular that's allowed him to step in?
I think you're just seeing the maturity. I think you're seeing just second year understanding the defense, you know, the terminology, how to, you know, and those are the things I see with him and you know, those second year players, just the understanding of even how we practice, you know, and that goes a long way.
Now that Travis has had a real off season, what have you sort of seen from him, and you know, where can he improve at moving forward?
Yeah, he came back. You know, he came back in great shape, ready and eager to go, and just, you know, having an off season where he didn't have to necessarily rehab, you know, and get himself. You know, that just takes it off your mind too, right? You know, you can just focus on getting yourself conditioned to come back to training camp, and you know, the areas that we're focusing on is just, you know, he's been such a good shotgun runner throughout his career. You know, more under center stuff with him. We can get better there, you know, and just keeping improving the vision of all the running backs. You know, just, you know, understanding the front, understanding where the hole is and where it could be, you know, and so all of that just comes with time and reps, and again, yes, a third year player, but only in his second year, you know, so he's another one that we're excited about and eager to, you know, once the pads come on too, to see him, you know, work.
Coach, yesterday appeared to be a good day for the tight ends. Your thoughts on that room so far in camp?
Good room. You know, I like, obviously, you know, Evan kind of picked up where he left off, and you know, Luke is another one, that young player who this will be big for him. You know, an opportunity, great opportunity for him. You know, Brenton Strange is learning and improving, you know, every day. There's going to be, obviously, you know, there's going to be a setback here and there. It's just part of the process, right? And then we got some young guys, Garrett Prince, and you know, who's been here again, another second-year player who was on practice squad a year ago. You know, has done some good things, and overall, you know, Derek's in that mix, and Sammy's and Josh. I mean, it's a good group, you know, and some good competition there.
Doug, what does Sheriff bring from a leadership standpoint, a production standpoint, to the team?
Just bring, I think, there's a calmness, you know. Especially having, you know, a rookie right tackle next to him, there's a calmness there. But there's a maturity level. There's, you know, he keeps things really simple and grounded, you know. And again, he's another one that when you watch him. I know you guys don't see it, but the way he comes into the building and the way he prepares himself for practice and gets his mind right and the whole thing, that's what pays dividends to the rest of his, you know, lineman guys, and he's done it for so many years, and he's been a pro at it for so many years that, you know, it's just that his overall presence in that group, I think, just calms everybody down and does a nice job with it.
Coach, have you set any goals for week 2?
Excuse me?
Have you set any goals for week 2?
Well, I mean, pads come on, so, you know, listen, I mean, it kind of goes back. I mean, as far as the injuries, you just don't want anybody to get hurt, you know. But we're still gonna do what we do, and you know, focus on us, and you know, and each week, really each day, the goal is to get better, right? And every day is a different day because it's a new set of challenges for the team, right? Yesterday was red zone. The day before was third down. The day before was, you know, normal down and distances. So we're putting the team in different scenarios. So just understanding that as we go, you know, each week, just to improve every situation we have. All right. Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Will you